Hey guys, Bowie here. Today we're going to be talking about the Ember versus Lina matchup, and we're watching a mage replay. He is the highest win rate mid player this week, so I thought we should talk about him. I feel like I don't really give enough credit for this really great players that sometimes are not as known. I mean, Mage is a really popular player, but he, didn't had a lot of success with a big team and stuff like that. So I think it's really cool to talk about him and how he played this matchup. So he starts the game, and this is a thing I think a lot of mid players forget to do. You can see that he's going to be waiting here for a while until he drops his ward, and there's a ton of reasons why you would want to do that. Well, the first one, basically, is that the longer you wait, the longer you're going to have vision at nighttime. And that nighttime vision is really important because that's when supports start warding. They're going to go for the bounty rooms and they're going to try to connect to the mid lane and drop more wards. So if you do have that ward, you can probably spot someone going for the next one, so you can deward that, and that's always good. You can also spot rotations, since a support going to the mid lane, if he does give them the chance to also kill someone, he gets double the value. He's getting a ward and he's also getting a kill for his team. So dropping a ward early is also good for that. And there's another thing. When you drop your ward really early, if the enemy has a hero that can actually walk to the mid lane and test whether there's a ward or not, there's videos. You can probably look for videos like that. I think I mentioned it in a video I did. But you can actually go through the trees and see if the ward is on the left or the right side. When you drop it really late, it doesn't really give the enemy the chance to actually test where your ward is and maybe take it down. So I do have kind of a pause here. Let me just, oh yeah, there you go. We're gonna wait a little bit. He's gonna drop his ward, and there you go. We're gonna see the block. So his block is fairly good, and I want to talk how he handles Lina, because a lot of people think that this matchup's supposed to be really hard, and it is hard if you don't know what you're looking for here. Here's the thing. Both of the abilities that Lina is going to learn level 1 can crush your Flame Guard. So starting with Flame Guard is always going to be bad. And the reason Sleight of Fist is good is, well, first of all, you can actually harass the Lina. And second of all, you can dodge. Dragon's Slave is a little harder to dodge, but if she starts with LSA, which is something kinda common depending on the MMR you're playing, especially versus melee heroes, since you can easily hit the Ember, and then the Lina's gonna deny the range creep and farm the other one. It's just very reliable way of playing. But this lane is also so good that she knows how easy it is for the Ember to dodge LSA. So she actually starts with Dragon's Slave. Mage does tank some of the damage, but let's watch what he does in the first wave, alright? He is already focusing on the range creep, and the reason he's doing this is, in the early levels, up to level 3, he can actually tank some damage to make sure he gets this range creep. And then he draws aggro all the way to the tower to make sure the Lina's not harassing him, and she's also not denying the creeps, because that's another problem Lina has. She has way too much attack range. We're gonna see the aggro. For now, just watch how he handles this range creep right here. The Dragon Slave gets committed, he farms the creep, harasses with Sleight of Fist at the same time, so he goes for the attack, then his Sleight of Fist in case that was not enough damage. So the Sleight of Fist is probably going to be enough, and it's also harassing Lina at the same time. So this is really, really effective. So he draws aggro once, now he goes and draw aggro again, and well, he's not satisfied, he draws aggro again. And this is really good for a ton of reasons. First of all, Lina's tanking a lot of melee creeps there. She cannot go for the denies. If she goes for denies, even if she gets them, it's bad for her. And this also means, because Ember has really good attack animation damage and a Quelling Blade, he gets 4 creeps in the first wave. So he's already level 2, and this is just really, really good for him. This is how Mage can actually withstand this lane. I'm not going to go as far as say he won the lane in the traditional terms, because in traditional terms, winning is having more CS. But considering he gets level 6 pretty much at the same time Lina does, I think this is a really, really good lane by him. So once again, right now, his Light of Fist is on cooldown, right? And the range creep there is pretty much under tower. So he cannot really go for the range creep. So what he does is the same thing. He just keeps on drawing aggro over and over again. The Lina doesn't deny his melee creep that was here because she's forced to Dragon Slave and attack this one. So yeah, Mage is taking some damage, but Now he can draw aggro here, and the Lina has a taunt to worry about there, because some creeps are actually dying to the tower, and she misses a couple of CS. So if you actually check how they are doing in terms of less hits and denies, it's relatively close, especially when you consider that these 2 creeps are from the last wave. So Mage still has the chance of getting those, whereas the wave for Lina is already over. So he gets 1 with his Light of Fist, which is pretty good, and almost gets that one. It's, you know, unfortunate because he knows how much damage he's gonna take, so he couldn't wait much more. But he just keeps on drawing aggro again and again. And what that does is this since he's killing the Lina creep wave faster, now Lina, which is a ranged hero, has to deal with all of those creeps, and that's bad for her. She doesn't have damage block, she doesn't have a lot of armor or HP, and this is usually, there's like lanes where you don't want them to be static. Well, Shadow Fiend is one of them, TA is one of them, and Lina is also one of them, because her cooldowns are so slow that if the creep wave, let's say a creep wave lasts for 20 seconds in the mid lane, that's probably enough time for Lina to Dragon's Blade 3 times, if she has the mana for it. And you will take all of that damage. By doing this, Mage is taking 1 Dragon's Glaive per wave, pretty much, which is when the Lina wants to secure the range creep. And he's still getting all of the farm that he wants to. Obviously, he's going to have to fare a South, but Lina also fares 1, and we're going to see that. And he just goes straight up for the Wraith Band. What he needs in this lane is not really mana, right? Because if he gets a bottle, he's never going to use Flame Guard anyways. A lot of people, they see hard matchups and they just straight up default to bottle. But that's not going to change the outcome of this lane. What he wants is more base damage so that when he has to Light of Fist, maybe he gets the range creep. So when he draws aggro on their tower, he is 100% getting every single creep. And, you know, that's just a good item on Ember, more tankability and stuff like that. So when you start getting to level 3, you can actually spam Light of Fist all the time. And you can see that they are both level 3 right now. This doesn't happen if you just play, you know, the standard way of Ember and just rush Flame Guard. It's just gonna get nullified with the first spell Lina throws, and then you're just gonna feel really bad. But yeah, you can see that he actually Flame Guards here just to mitigate the damage, to make sure he can get a range creep. And this is really, like, he's not really laning per se. What he's doing is damage control, and he's just making sure Lina denies as less range creeps as possible. See how he actually, yeah, he was, I'm gonna go back here just so you guys can see it. So every time the range creep was low, Lina was using Dragon's Glaive. And here he draws aggro, and the Lina is paying close attention to it. So he's like, alright, she's gonna Dragon's Glaive, so I have to back so I don't take the damage. I don't have Flame Guard anymore. But Lina's like, okay, he cannot deny this range creep, so I'm just gonna go for the right click. She gets the right click, and so, you know, really good playing by her. And it just showcases how you have to account for Lina. Like, don't tank unnecessary Dragon's Glaives by, 1, drawing constant aggro so that you're just too far away for her to even bother. And 2, when, like, you're not gonna deny, let's say, until up to level 3, where Dragon's Glaive is on level 1, you can probably maybe deny 1 range creep before the Dragon's Glaive comes. There's like a travel animation, tag animation. When Lina is level 3 upwards, you're never gonna deny a range creep versus her. So you're just actually, you're willingly taking damage if you try to go for it. That's why he was so far away from it. And yeah, you can see, again, just using Light of Fist all the time to harass, drawing aggro. Then he's gonna draw aggro again. Yeah, you can see that Lina, even Dragon's Glaive, she tried to Dragon's Glaive the range creep and Ember at the same time, and she can't, just because of how good of a job Mage is doing of drawing aggro. But still, because her, this here is bullshit, she can actually get the creep anyways with a right click, because her attack speed is insane. This is actually a really good play. He gets level 4, Light of Fist, deals a ton of damage. Lina finally gets her bottom, and you can see that the Ember is going bottom as well, because you can actually contest runes relatively decently versus... Oh, actually, we have to show this as well. So, because you have Light of Fist chains, you can contest runes versus Lina, because you can dodge her stun, you can lock her in place, and you have decent move speed as well. So, Lina actually baited the LSA animation here, and that kind of forced the Light of Fist for Ember. It's not a poor play because he is harassing the Lina anyways, but now he has to be a little careful with how deep he actually goes here. Yeah, see that now the Lina uses the LSA. Because if he goes too deep, he's gonna take the stun and then gonna take a ton of damage. Lina just got her bottle, so she has a ton of mana to work with again. And he's not gonna be able to secure most of the range creeps, you know? He doesn't have mana to tank some damage with the Flame Guard like we saw last time. So what he does is just make sure that the melee creeps never get denied, and Lina has a slight experience advantage, but much, much less of an advantage than if he didn't do all the things that he's doing right now. You can see that it's 4 minutes, so denying the rune from Lina is the best thing he could do right now. Unfortunately, his position is not perfect right now, because none of the creeps on the Lina side are about to die. So he could stay right in the middle of this and probably get the rune from the Lina. But he tried to guess a side at 4 minutes, and he's wrong about it. So now the Lina will, because of this huge creep wave, the Lina can actually go for it. I would say it would probably be worth it to steal the rune from Lina, even though he loses like 1 or 2 melee creeps. Because now Lina has so much extra harass to deal with. But still, it happens. Now, the wave is under tower, and he is going for bottle. So, is going for boots. Boots, usually really good. It also increases the likelihood that he's going to be able to contest runes versus the Lina because of that move speed and all that. And you're level 5, you pretty much just want to slide of fist harass the Lina all the time. That's one of the few things that you actually do versus her. And the Tusk actually rotated, but she got an Invis rune. So the only thing that they're doing here is actually force the Invis out of her. There's no way they can actually get the skill. I mean, Tusk was not prepared with a dust, obviously. Now, here's a very important thing. When something like this happens, where you actually collapse into the mid lane, very close to the bounty rune time, stealing the enemy bounty is something that you can do. But here's the thing. Kato is not showing top, alright? So if he goes to look for this bounty rune and he doesn't find anything, not only he didn't do any tower damage, but he could even be like, what if Lina runs towards the side that he goes for, etc. So he gives up on going for that bounty. Unfortunately, he also doesn't pick the other one up because, I'm sorry, yeah, Kato and Wind is the other support. So yeah, Wind got that one, Kato was bottom and got that one. That's why he didn't even try, but it's something that you can do. You know, if the players are playing super aggressive and you see them as the bounty rune is about to spawn and the enemy mid is low HP, you can always go for that rune steal. It's gonna fill up your bottle at the same time and deny it from the Lina. And now he's level 6 and Lina is 6. Like, if you see players that they're not really like used to playing mid or they're not used to this matchup, Lina could easily be 8 and as Ember is about to get 6. You know, Ember starts jungling, he maxes Flame Guard, and yeah, that's really unfortunate. Once again, Lina sets up for the rune and gets it. So yeah, gets a haste there. Still, he's making sure the haste gets used right now. Unfortunately for Dire, the haste did allow Lina to get a kill top because yeah, she was close by. So she goes there, Laguna Blades. There's not much he can do right now. He has no mana. He cannot assist into the fight. He made the only play he could go for, which is contesting the rune. Lina was just like slightly better positioned and luckier because the side that she chose was also there. But let's talk about what's important. This game lasts 18 minutes right now. So you could say, whoa, this is a clickbait title. Mage is not destroying this lane. But think about what this game would look like if Ember got crushed, right? If Ember is level 4 right now, what will happen is that Lina would be able to create a ton of space. She's already creating space. She just killed Ember, Lich, and Terrorblade top. So even though this is 3-11, they wouldn't be able to snowball this game really hard because Ember wouldn't be ready to fight. The thing is, he is ready to fight. He's level 6. He has bottle raindrops. His boots is ready to be delivered. And this is going to give Mage all of the tools to keep snowballing this game. He's already on the Dire side, but it could shift because Lina is super strong and Ember is not strong. Ember has to jungle. Ember has to like go for into a wave where no one is there. He's not doing anything. Terrorblade's not doing anything because he's a really slow hero. Oh, that's a really important thing that he does right now. He gets a sentry and a ward. I don't like the mid ward this much just because contesting the runes versus Lina is really important, but there's a caveat here. His supports actually dropped. Wait, this is actually a Radiant ward. Is this? No. Yeah, this is a Dire ward. So he has vision of the rune. If there's no rune vision, I wouldn't recommend warding like this because you want to make sure you can find which rune Lina has, or just find the rune before her. So yeah, don't go for this rune ward unless you already have another one showing the ward. Now going back to player perspective, and as I was talking about, because Ember is ready to fight, even though Lina had a slightly better laning stage than Ember, she's 10 creeps ahead, but like that's very little when you consider how bad this matchup can go. Ember will go for moves, and she's not going to be able to shift the tides of lanes that went so badly for Radiant already. They lost both top and bottom. And that doesn't mean the game is over. If Ember had a terrible game, it probably wouldn't be. So let's go for a 1.5 here and see what's gonna happen. So about to rune side, Lina once again gets pretty lucky, and they do have a sentry this time. So the Sleight of Fist there a little hasty. Lina will be able to disengage with this, but oh, actually she doesn't. I actually forgot about this. They do get the, and this is like game losing, because what's happening here? Every time the Lina goes for a rune, Ember is ready to contest. That haste rune was like really lucky for the Lina because she was forced to pop it to survive, but she had enough mana to collapse into a lane and get a kill. But now she gets an invis that could be, a Terrorblade kill again. It could be a TIE Hunter kill, I don't know. She has to use it to get away. She dies anyways. And now she comes back. She doesn't have any power rune. Ember is as strong and mobile as her. So she doesn't have any edge to work with. And the lane's already lost so hard that it's not easy for the Lina to just TP to a lane and get a kill. And this snowballs very hard for Dire. Even though the gold advantage is really low. Eventually, the Ember rotates. Yeah, he rotates at the bounty rune time at 10 minutes, which is always really good. Yeah, there you go. They're gonna find the Wind Ranger right here with the Tusk. That Tusk did some pretty good rotations. He finally gets a rune, and we're gonna see the difference of this haste rune versus what the Lina was able to do. So he's very low in mana right now. Wants to wait for the corrosive haste to wear off. There you go. That's really the point of the video. Like, this game ends really abruptly. Radiant pretty much just gives up. It's 3:18, and you might look at the Ember and say, well, Ember didn't really have any impact. He only has 2 kills, and it's 18 kills for the Dire side. But this is not what this is about. What this is about is not losing a lane where, he's 2-0-0, but he could easily be 0-0, 0-2-0. And everyone will be like, okay, yeah, that's a hard lane for Ember. It's expected that he dies twice. So not only he doesn't die twice, he gets 2 kills. This might look small in numbers, but it's not. And it's not that easy to do. Like, we saw how he was not like getting perfect Sleight of Fist dodges and then like doing all of that crazy stuff. No, he was securing range creeps, drawing aggro, making sure he fares region. And I think everyone can learn a little bit from this replay. And hopefully gonna get better lane matchups when playing mid-Ember. Guys, thank you all for watching. If you're interested in coaching, you can DM me on Twitter to get more information about it. If you want more videos on this channel, you can always check our Patreon. There is a couple of rewards there that might interest you. And if you have anything to talk about the video, any feedback, anything that you didn't like or liked, or that you want to see more, make sure to leave in the comments below so that we can improve upon that. Thank you a lot, guys. It's always a pleasure being here, and have a good one.